EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to one of our favorite spots, venerable Soldier Field in Chicago. Straight ahead, we've got a pretty good one on tap here, as it'll be the Indianapolis Colts taking on the Chicago Bears. Alongside my partner, Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gunn. Happy to be with you. And CD, as we get this thing going, give the folks at home something to keep their eye on.
The running game for both teams, because I think this is going to be an old-fashioned, old-school type of a game. Physical, who wins up front, who runs the ball the best and controls the clock, they will come out the victor.
Here's Cairo Santos now, ready to get this one started. And off we go from Soldier Field. And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. So the Colts now coming out for their opening drive. And trotting out there, their tall quarterback standing at 6'5".
I still remember when he was drafted, there was a little bit of controversy about how high he was selected by the New York Giants, but his talents were revealed. He can make every throw in the book. Surprisingly good athlete. As long as he takes care of the football, doesn't turn it over, he can really make plays.
They'll run. This is Jonathan Taylor, and he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
Quick throw into the hands of Pittman. They'll give him 4 yards there, and all of a sudden here, it's 3rd down. In search of 4 yards here to pick up the 1st down. Now Jones. That is caught. And out across midfield down to the 45. That's good for a 1st down, his 2nd catch of the opening drive. Had to put that ball in there with a little extra zip, and he put it right where it needed to be.
Yeah, and that little extra pace that he had on the pass, that required a little extra concentration for him, didn't it? Ball can get on you pretty quick in that manner, and he handled it well and picked up the 1st down.
1st and 10, Taylor now. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
2nd and 10. Throwing, Jones. This one completes Alec Pierce. And he's going to have another 1st down as the tackle's made here at the Bears' 27-yard line. Another good reception there. The Colts on the march. That early game script that they drew up is working pretty well here on this 1st drive. Already in field goal range, Charles, knocking on the door of the red zone.
You know, Brandon, when we met with the coaching staff, they kind of predicted that they would come out firing like this. I think you and I were a little skeptical that it'd be this easy, but they certainly knew what they were doing in scouting, in preparation, and understanding what their team was capable of. Well, that run right there was an offensive line coach's dream, wasn't it? Guys picked up all of their assignments, created a nice gap for the running back to get through, pick up 7 yards. Yeah, he's probably chortling on the headset right now saying, we got it going, boys. Let's keep it going.
Jones out to the flat, and that's caught. And he stopped after a gain of 1. Not enough. Still a yard to go on 3rd down.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
On 3rd and short, they'll try option left. And Jones is not going to have the 1st down as they stop him short. Losing 2 yards that time, and now it's 4th down. And not a lot of success to be found there.
Oh, you got that right, partner, because if you're trying to make guys miss about 10 yards or so downfield, that's a pretty good play. But if you've got to do it in your own backfield, I consider that a problem. That doesn't work too well.
And on their first drive, the offense staying out there. They're going to go for it on 4th. And he won't get there. They stop him a few yards short of the line to gain. The Colts unable to convert here on 4th down. And this defense holds firm here on the opening drive of the night. Well, they miss an opportunity to put some points on the board on the opening drive. They pass on the field goal. What'd you think?
I'm looking at it from a positive standpoint for them. First drive of the game, they set the tone, right? They go downfield. They let them know how aggressive they're going to be all game long. Even though they don't get it, because it's the first drive of the game, you're not that worried about it. Hey, we've got plenty of other opportunities as this game moves on.
Looking to put a drive together. And they'll send the tight end in motion. First carry for Swift. Fights forward for only about a yard up to the 21.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defensive front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
Here's Williams. He's got the Michigan man, Colston Loveland. And all the way down to the 24-yard line. A big play there on the catch and run. 55 yards.
And the offense is saying to itself right now, if only they were all this easy, because he was wide open. And once he made the catch, plenty of room to work his way downfield. That was a breakdown on the defensive side of the ball, one that they want to fix immediately.
On play action, here's Williams. Finding more on the out route for the completion. And he'll be out of bounds about a half to a full yard shy of the 5.
How about the way they're moving the ball down the field? They had a big play a moment ago, followed it up with another nice one here, and before you know it, they're already looking at 1st and goal.
Here's Swift. And he'll get this one back to the 5-yard line, but no further than that. Only a yard on the pickup there, 2nd and goal. Be interesting to see now what they do offensively down near the goal line after not much there that time.
As the offensive play caller, that may change your sequence now. Instead of coming right back with a running play, you may have to go to the air.
One more time with Swift. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Chicago. Swift, a 5-yard touchdown run. And the Bears will claim the early lead as they're on the board first here tonight. So, partner, it was a passing game that drove them down the field, but when they get close, they trust that man in the backfield, and he took them home.
And they trust their offensive line as well, because so many of these units, they specialize in either pass protection or run blocking. This group shows its versatility and gets both done on this drive.
Cairo Santos on to try the extra point. And he's got it to make it 7-0 in favor of the Bears. So the drive there, 5 plays, 80 yards. And it's finished off with a 5-yard touchdown run. Now, after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line. Second drive coming up here for the Indianapolis Colts. They've got some stuff to build on from that last drive because they moved the football, CD, and then they tried to go for it on fourth down, didn't convert, probably left a bitter taste in their mouths.
I would say so, and I think that they go out in this series determined for that not to happen again. In fact, they don't even want to get to a fourth down opportunity. They just want to make sure they get it done within the parameters that they've set for themselves. Run their offense, get it into the end zone. Yeah, I think a little bit of determination and a dash of anger.
It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down.
Nice chunk of yards on first down. It really opens up your options for what you want to do on second. You go right back to him and hope he explodes, or sucker the defense in before throwing over the top.
From the 29, Jones lets one go downfield for Pierce. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
One thing that offensive guys stress when they throw the deep ball, you're just counting on your receiver to find it, adjust before the defensive back can get his head around. In this case, though, the DB matched it move for move and knocked it away.
On third down, he'll drop to throw. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Well, they've moved the ball okay here in these first two drives, but this one's going to, again, amount to nothing. They've got to start dialing up some plays that allow them to finish drives with points.
On fourth down, the Colts will call on Rigoberto Sanchez for the punt. We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And the Bears take over. Chicago works their way back onto the field here for their second drive of the game. This could end up being a pretty big drive. I mean, look, yes, it's early in this game, but they scored the touchdown. They got the stop. And now if they could get in the end zone here again, CD, they could grab an early stranglehold on this one.
Yeah, they certainly can, and that's what you're looking for. Where's the advantage? Can you gain it? Can you press it? Now for them, finishing it off, because right now it's out there for them. They've just got to go seize it.
And they'll run the option to start the drive. And he's going to be hemmed in and brought down right at the line of scrimmage. No gain there as he kept it himself at second down. Well, for that being an option play, there really weren't too many options available for him, were there?
No, there weren't, and at least he was able to get back to the line of scrimmage, so they didn't lose anything, but you're exactly right. Nowhere to go.
Play action. Now Williams. To the sideline and incomplete. They had the incomplete pass on second down. Now they need a big play here. 3rd and 10. To throw, Williams. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he will have the Bears first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Well, as a coach, you absolutely love seeing your offense find their rhythm early, and that's exactly what we've seen so far. They had a touchdown on their opening drive, and now they connect here for another nice gain for a first down. This offense is moving the ball well, exactly as he drew it up in practice.
They'll fake the give. Now Williams. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up second down.
No surprise at all. They're looking for the big man early in this one. The only surprise for them, he couldn't hang on to the pass.
Now a 2nd and 10. Throwing again here, Williams. His second catch, and this one not nearly as electrifying as his first. And it'll bring up 3rd down now.
He's a rookie, and you don't want to get hung up on the word potential. But when you see him make catches like that, you keep thinking to yourself, he's good now. He's got a chance to be great with plenty of work.
To throw, it's Williams. Oh, and that is incomplete.
Now that's a good bounce back after giving up a touchdown on the opening drive. Just one first down permitted and then out. Obviously no loss of confidence with that defense, and now they get to turn it back to their offense.
Here comes the Bears punter now. The deep to return is Josh Downs. And this is going to hit the goal line and continue on into the end zone for a touchback. Indianapolis offense ready to go again. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
In motion, the tight end. A carry by Taylor to start the drive. And this is going to be a Colts first down as he gets this up past the 30 to the 32.
Well, they came into this game saying it was important that they set the tone and show that they can run the football. I believe that they've done that here in the first quarter.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Here Jones gets it out quickly, complete. That was a lightning-fast decision that time. He just caught it and got rid of it.
Because he saw his guy was going to be open immediately. So he took the R, the run, out of the play. He took the O, the option, out of the play, and immediately got to the pass.
This 2nd and 4. Running straight ahead, Taylor. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down. Well, they're making an effort to get the ground game going tonight. So far, it's working.
I like what we're seeing from the offensive line. They seem to have the leverage going, and they're controlling things and reestablishing the line of scrimmage, moving that defensive front backwards, but also like what the runner's giving us, too. It appears that he's been waiting all day long to get out here and take off.
And he slides and covers up at the end as he's going to be able to pick up decent yardage. He'll wind up getting 9 after tucking it and running, so it'll leave him with 2nd and a yard.
I do think it's fair to say that they were caught off guard a little bit when he decided not to throw it on first down. But give them credit. They recovered in time to deny him the first down yardage. But it's only 2nd and short, so that run is still likely to lead to a new set of downs.
A short throw. This is caught by Cox. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made here at the Bears 36. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks.
2nd and short, that's a rundown, so it's definitely a good time to go play action if you're feeling it. And they do so and pick up a first down.
Up the middle, here's Taylor. And he's got room. 51 yards rushing for him now as he has gotten the night off to a hot start.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember, the last drive, they went 3 and out.
So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10. Operating from the gun, Jones. He'll find a man over the middle. It's Pittman. And the Colts are looking at 1st and goal as he's tackled all the way down at the 2-yard line.
It's all pretty simple sometimes, isn't it? Go where the defenders are not, and he does exactly that. Makes a nice catch to move the chains. Defense, got to find a better way of accounting for the shorter routes that are being run against them.
Taylor trying to get to the goal line, but he's going to be stopped just short at the 1. Only a yard that time, 2nd and goal.
Jonathan Taylor, a touchdown machine. He's going to get plenty of looks down here near the goal line, so if I'm on defense, I might start getting prepared to see his number called a couple of more times.
Here's Taylor again. Trying to find a lane, but he finds nothing but defenders. Stop for no gain at the 2-yard line. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a third down.
Now, that was a terrific play. We're down here near the goal line, and only one word comes to mind for me, and that's overwhelmed, because they absolutely overwhelmed the offensive line. He came free and made the hit in the backfield.
They'll look to run with Taylor. That is not going to be any help as they dump him behind the line of scrimmage. Fourth down now after a loss of 2.
The short field shrinks even more with the type of bodies they brought in on that play. Those extra tight ends, they weren't able to secure their blocks, and that one ended up going backwards.
So on fourth down, Spencer Schrader on here for the Colts field goal. From the right hash here, should be an easy one. And his kick is good. So a long drive gets him down inside the 5, but ultimately they settle for just the field goal.
And I have to think that if maybe they were a yard closer, that would have made their decision tougher, and I think they likely would have gone for it. But in this situation, they just decided to take the 3, and I think it was a smart move.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25. The Chicago offense set to get started. No points last time out. They were forced to punt, if you remember, but no time to dwell on that. They've still got the lead here and a chance to add to that here. 1st and 10 as this new drive starts. Looking to put a drive together. On the ground, it's Swift to start the drive. Nowhere to go that time. Might have gotten a yard up to the 25.
No doubt about it. A really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, they also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job there of holding the point of attack and not giving ground.
There's a short throw. It's caught by Kmet.
Nice play call, a little bit of play action right there. If you can get those linebackers to freeze for just a split second, that's usually all the room you need in order to get it to your tight end.
Heavy set out there on 3rd and 1. Williams going to sneak it. And he will have the Bears first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. After 1, 7-3 the score on EA Sports. Back in Chicago, ready for the 2nd quarter. It's the Bears in possession as they've got it with a 1st and 10. Swift going to try up the middle. And some room to roam now. And some good acceleration there as he's across midfield to the 48-yard line. A good pickup, 17 yards and a Bear first down.
That's pretty much meat and potatoes right there, wasn't it? Just go right at them and let your big horse charge up the middle. Not too fancy there, was it?
Nothing fancy at all, challenging that defense. And on that go-around, the offense won the challenge. Williams looking to do it himself. And they'll get this just to the 47, 1-yard gain.
I think the defense surprised him there with that blitz on first down, but give him credit. Stayed cool under pressure and still found a way through the extra rushers for positive yardage. Well done.
They work now on 2nd and 9. They'll go play action here with Williams. To the left side, he's got his tight end Loveland. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. That'll put him at 66 receiving yards now for the game, and he's got a first down. Pass caught right side by Loveland. Short completion, just 4 yards, and it's second down. Well, that's always a good place to throw it just because he's one of the biggest targets not only on this team but in the National Football League.
And you and I both know the quarterbacks love these large-bodied tight ends, and why not? Nowadays, they're really wide receivers who are just taller and have a little bit more weight. These guys catch the football, make big plays downfield. In the old days, we wanted them to block. Now coaches want them to catch the football first.
He lost 4 there, and it's third down.
That's a play to take note of there for the defense, I think, in the future. If you're going to try and block him, maybe you get a guard to help double team him and try and steer him out of the play. They should have done it on that snap.
Throwing is Williams. That's caught. The tight end Loveland with it. And he's out of bounds. Almost gets to the 10. It's a gain of 26 as they pick up the first down in the process.
We often hear the phrase sure-handed tight ends, and he certainly fits into that category. Plus, he's got a quarterback who knows to look his way when they need a big pickup. And on this play, he finds him for the first down.
On 1st and 10, it's Swift. And down inside the 10 here before he's out of bounds right around the 7. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
So if you've been playing defense in this one, there's a little bit of the good and some bad because they did give up the touchdown run to him earlier but shut him down otherwise.
Outside of that, you're exactly right. I would say they've contained him very well. Right back to Swift again on 2nd down. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. A loss on that play, and now 3rd down gets tougher. 3rd and 6.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness, he's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
To the air, Williams. Now he's going to step up and run. And I don't think he got there, no. He's short by maybe a foot, maybe. Call it 4th and inches.
That looked great when he first took off because in my mind, there was room to run and he had the marker in his sight. But I certainly didn't expect him to close so quickly, and neither did he. They got to him just in time, and now that forced him to make a decision with his 4th down call.
Line of scrimmage, the 2. They can still get a first down if they just get a yard out of this on 4th and very short. And he takes this one in for a Bears touchdown. DeAndre Swift with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And the Bears take a chance, but they find pay dirt on 4th and goal. So they only needed a couple of feet there on 4th down, but they got more than that and then some as he takes this into the end zone.
And I love your description right there, right? 4th and short. They got that. No problem. Let's go ahead and get the rest of it. Finish it off in the end zone. Touchdown. Everyone goes away happy on that one.
Santos with the extra point. And that pushes the lead up to 11. So that one a 13-play drive in total. And it's culminated by a 2-yard touchdown run. Now, after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. And able to get this out to the 25. Here comes the Indianapolis offense now as they get set to take over. And it's been very much a slow start for them. 3 drives and just the 3 points, CD.
Yeah, if you're into the points per drive ratio, that answer is 1. And that's not going to get it done in a ball game. They've got to find a way to finish these drives in end zones not having balls go through goalposts.
Looking to put a drive together. Now a play fake here on first down. And he's upended at the 33 following a good pickup of 8.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Speed is the name of the game when it comes to RPOs, and sometimes you can be a little too quick, thus inaccurate, incomplete.
The Colts on third down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. They'll try and run for the first with Taylor. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. 58 yards rushing on 12 carries for him now.
3rd and 1, partner. No need to be fancy there. Just use some force and move forward and pick up the first down.
They go play action here on first down. And he'll go down. The Bears get there for the sack. Dominique Robinson. Credit him with a sack as he buries him for a loss of 10.
Now that was a passer's nightmare. The front door totally shut down by the defense, so he kept going backwards, hoping to find another avenue of escape. It didn't exist.
And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20. Back to throw. Jones. Now he'll tuck this and run. And he works his way past the line of scrimmage and then slides to a halt. He'll wind up getting 4 there on his own, but it will leave him now with a 3rd down situation. Facing some long odds here if they hope to convert, as they're well behind the original line of scrimmage. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. He'll take a shot downfield for Pittman, and that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
That's some good closing speed there defensively, because that looked open for a minute. But that's great work with the ball in the air. Never gave up, converged on his man, and broke the play up.
As Sanchez on to punt here as he sends this one away. Yeah, he was looking for the checkup bounce, didn't get it. That scoots all the way into the end zone now for a touchback. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out, looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways, because you know they're both motivated. They both game planned for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
So the completion good for 6 yards, and it'll be 2nd down.
Just about every quarterback is trained to really look downfield first before you come back and make a nice, safe throw. And in this case, that's exactly what he did. Found his running back, let him create some space, and it turned out to be a nice play for the offense.
Off the play fake, it's Williams. Pressure comes, and down he goes. Grover Stewart getting in there for the sack.
What a nice read and play by the defensive tackle. Never bought the play action fake. Went right for the quarterback and put him on the ground.
Here's 3rd and 9. Looking to throw is Williams. He's going to loft one deep over the middle. And unable to connect. Incomplete. I'll give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
That might be the 3rd down stop that they needed because they've had a lot of trouble slowing down this offense in the first half. This might be their opportunity to get off the field.
Here comes the Bears punter now, as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. And that's going to go in the books as a 55-yard punt. Well done. And the Colts will go on offense here, 1st and 10. And now Indianapolis set to take the field. Over on the sideline, hoping to hit that reset button between possessions. Last time out, they had to punt it away. This time hoping to finish this thing off in the end zone. Looking to put a drive together. Jones now throwing to start the drive. The throw here right sideline falls incomplete.
Just nowhere to go with the football. He was forced to put that one into Lake Michigan. I think his receivers have to do a better job of working free because he didn't have anywhere to go at all on that play.
Here's 2nd and 10. Looking to throw. Jones. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
3rd and 4. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Jones in trouble here, and down he goes. That time, multiple defenders getting pressure, and it's a loss of 6.
Now, that was just absolute perfect man coverage. Nowhere for them to go with the football. Led to a sack, and that's really difficult to do in today's NFL with all these gazelles running around that you're trying to cover in the secondary.
Out is Rigoberto Sanchez on 4th down to punt this thing. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. This will be fielded at the 17. A big kick there. We'll call it 56 yards on the punt. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Bears offense now getting ready to take over. These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. A well-executed 22-yard gain. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing, playing against a good quarterback like he is, to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme, and you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
16 more on that one and another first down.
Not only have they completed a couple on this drive, but they peeled off some pretty good chunks of yardage, too.
Absolutely. Great start. 2 nice plays in the pass game. Now can they continue to feed off that? They'll run with the Rutgers man, Kyle Monangai. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Charvarius Ward there to make the stop.
Oh, there's plenty of traffic waiting for him up the middle. But give him credit, he tried barreling through anyway. They're fortunate to get a yard out of that one.
Now 2nd and 9. From the shotgun, a throw for Williams. There's a short one caught by Loveland. And they'll get him to the ground. He has another first down at the Colts 26. That'll put him over 100 yards receiving now here in this first half of action.
So many times in my career I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing, but as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
And out of bounds right around the 20. From the 20, here's 2nd and 4. Here's Monangai. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. That one, a first down pickup of 8.
We both know it's difficult, but they've made it look effortless out there. Through the air, on the ground, they've moved the ball with relative ease.
From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10. On the ground, it's Monangai. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Tackle made by Zaire Franklin. Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
They'll run here with Monangai. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. A gain of 8 there on the 8th play of the drive.
Some good strong running right there. Some power and some explosiveness just about got him into the end zone.
The offense on 3rd down tonight, they've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. Here it's 3rd and 2. Back to throw. Williams. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And the Colts pick it up. And he will return this one to the 30-yard line.
Well, give some credit to the defense. They forced the big play, knocked the ball free from him, but it's a cardinal sin by the quarterback. Know where you are on the field, and he just gave up at a minimum 3 points.
Instead of getting down, takes the contact. The turnover ensues. And the Colts getting ready to go. Charles, a very uninspired effort. The last time we saw them out there was a quick 3-and-out, and they punted the football.
Yeah, and you never want to get stopped so soundly during a series, but what would be even worse now is letting it happen again right here. They've got to get going.
Looking to put a drive together. They'll start with a give to Taylor. Yeah, boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain. We've got a 14-3 ball game with 2 minutes left in the opening half. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Now Jones. Pressure, and he's taken down. A Bear sack. Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts. So as they talk it over, we step aside. So here's a 3rd and 14. Looking to throw. Jones. And the throw there going to be incomplete. The passing game not in sync here early. And now it's 4th down.
Well, he's smart enough to avoid the taunting rule, but I'll guarantee he quietly has told them, you might want to stop coming after me downfield because I just broke up another pass and took away a big shot that you were trying to succeed with.
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. A big boot that time. 57 yards the official distance. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. The Bears offense and Caleb Williams set to go to work once more. And he's had things all his way in this first half. The numbers sensational as he'll look to add to them with another drive here. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. They have been red hot, sometimes white hot here in this first half. They're just looking to add to that total right now.
And this has to serve as a reminder to myself because so many times I get wrapped up in the play calling, how they've sequenced things, how it's run. But, you know, at the end of the day, it's still execution. Those guys out on the field, and right now they are locked in and really looking good.
They'll try to continue to be locked in here as we get ready to approach halftime. Now Williams operating from the gun. Oh, he rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. And the Colts are going to take over a couple of yards shy of midfield.
Partner, I think this one went awry very simply because he overestimated his arm strength and his ability to fit it anywhere he wants to. A lot of quarterbacks do that and often pay the price.
Here comes the Indianapolis offense now as they get set to take over. They start near midfield following the interception as they begin 1st and 10. Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10, just shy of midfield at the 48. Throwing to start the drive, Jones. Throwing quickly there, but it's incomplete.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got 2nd and 3rd down to fall back on.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Back to throw. Jones. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 47. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11.
Well, Brandon, we could see that play developing, and they were hoping that he was going to be able to put a move on the first guy and turn it into a big play. But no such luck. The speed on defense continues to get better and better in the NFL. Pretty nice example there of those guys being able to run from their assignments and finish off that play.
And he is going to have a Colts 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Yeah, these are the types of plays they're going to need to hit on if they're going to get back into this game. It hasn't been the greatest of first halves, but this is a nice throw here on 3rd down, and they keep the drive going.
A 1st and 10 here, and you know, if they could just get 3 out of this, something about whittling it to a 1-score game at half that might provide a psychological boost. Down the field, he's got Warren. The Colts going to use the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 35 seconds to go in quarter number 2. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Throwing, Jones. And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's 2nd down.
One thing you hope to see out of a rookie tight end is a real concentration when the ball's in the air, and I'm not sure that he didn't, but he has to be prepared for people making a play on it when that ball's up for grabs.
So they'll come up after the incompletion for 2nd down. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1. Now the Colts going to burn the 2nd of their timeouts as the clock will stop with just under 30 seconds to go in the first half. This will be play number 7 on the drive. 3rd and a yard. Back to throw again. Got a man. It's Pittman, and he holds it in for the Colts touchdown. A 3-yard touchdown pass. And the Colts get a late score here in the final minute of the first half. Until that late score here in the second quarter, they'd only had the field goal, so that's just big to see that football get into the end zone.
Yeah, and when you look at the scoreboard now, nothing seems out of reach. They've been outplayed in the first half, but when the clock hits zeros as they head into the half, you know what I do as the head coach?
What?
I tell my team to sprint to the locker room to show that we've got the momentum and show that we're right back in this game.
Extra point right down the middle. And that makes it a 14-10 ball game. So that drives 7 plays in length. And it was capped off on the touchdown catch by Michael Pittman. The lead cut to just 4 as they kick it away and turn things over to their D. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. The Bears going to get one more possession in this first half. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
A little over 20 seconds remaining in the half as they'll line up here 1st and 10. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Now the Bears going to use the second of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in this first half of action. Still a few inches short of a first down as they come up now on 2nd down. Here's Williams. Over the middle, he's going to find Burden. Now the Bears will use their 3rd and final timeout. So as they talk it over, we step aside.
Good strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. Looking to throw. Williams. Throwing left sideline there, but it's incomplete.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up. Not that time. An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Working out of the gun, Williams. There's a short one caught by Loveland. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
Here's Williams. A final shot before break. He's going to take a shot at the end zone. Why not? And it's knocked away and incomplete. Halftime coming up. Let's get you down to Orlando and our buddy Scott Hansen with our EA Sports Halftime Report.
All right, Brandon, thanks much. Welcome in, everyone, to the downtown Orlando studios. Scott Hansen and crew with you for a short and sweet halftime, as this game's had a little bit of everything to it. We'll find out which side can establish some tempo in the 3rd quarter as we're ready to kick off the second half. Back out to our commentary team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Okay, Scott, thanks a bunch. And we'll see which team's adjustments are going to pay dividends here as we are just about ready for the start of the second half. Set to resume. Here we go with the second half. The Bears holding the lead and ready to receive the kick. And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line. So here's the Bears offense now as they get set to start this third quarter. And, Charles, they've got the lead. I would imagine the overall halftime tone was a positive one, but what do you think the talking points were in the locker room?
Well, if there were 3 talking points at the half, partner, all of them were about turnovers because they were pretty loose with the ball. Otherwise, this lead could be even bigger. Now, I don't think that they overly harped on it, but I think they told them, guys, if you want to keep calling those plays that are exciting, you've got to take care of the ball. Otherwise, we may have to dial things back a little bit.
Just a gain of a couple there, and it'll be second down. Man, I just love being in this stadium. So much history, tradition, so many great teams and games, and we're seeing a pretty good one right now, hotly contested in the third quarter. And he's going to find his man out of the backfield. That's complete. The result, only 4 yards there on the play. And that'll bring up a third down. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do to us downfield? And who can match up with him without weakening our overall defense? You're exactly right. It's a tough task to match up to him. That's an excellent job right there on third down. Like any defense, you never want to let them get anything started, and that would have been a first down. Instead, you saw the contact on time, no penalty, and before this drive could get wings, it's fourth down.
And he couldn't get it to check up. That kicks all the way into the end zone for a touchback. Here is Michael Pittman and the rest of this offense getting set for the upcoming drive. Pretty good game for him so far. I guess he's still got time here to make this a great game, but so far he's been solid.
I like where you're going with that because it has been pretty good, but there's always that hint that things can really escalate for him. And right now, they feel like they're somewhat keeping him in check, but he has found the end zone once. But, boy, he can explode at any moment.
Yeah, and when you hit that end zone once, you want to find it again, don't you?
Yes, you do.
Makes you hungrier.
You get greedy in a good way.
A good pickup there, a 22.
That's a nice throw there, and he's obviously feeling pretty good because, remember, he had a touchdown pass on the last drive, and here he comes out throwing again, and they wind up getting good yardage and a first down right out of the gate.
On the handoff, this is Taylor. And this one not going anywhere. They get him at the 44 for a gain of just a yard.
You know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. Now a run here off the RPO. He'll keep it. A good decision in the end to pull it and run. Get some 9 yards and a first.
Oh, partner, just a second earlier, and they might have had him because they certainly thought they were going to close in and drop him behind the line of scrimmage, but he had just enough time to dodge the pressure, and he ends up getting yardage before being stopped.
So into Bear territory now. This is 1st and 10 at the 47. Quick slant caught by Pierce. Give him a gain of 5 on the completion, and that's going to bring up second down.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, he often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for second down, staying ahead of schedule. On third down, they're going to go with the option. And he probably should have given that one off as he's going to get hit and taken down behind the line.
Well, we saw a lot of negative plays that resulted in plenty of lost yardage in the first half, and that trend is continuing here.
And the line to gain here is the 37 on third down. Back to throw. Jones. He had a man open, but he missed him, and it's incomplete.
That was well defended. They clamped down on every available receiver. Just got to give the win to the defense on that snap.
Now here's Rigoberto Sanchez. He's been terrific so far. And this is a beauty as that ball's going to angle out at the 6-yard line. The Bears offense now gets set to head back onto the field. And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag, punts on back-to-back drives.
And old school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now what you're looking for is, can you gain an advantage in field position? And that's what both teams are seeking right now.
Yeah, they'll be seeking to gain that advantage here on this drive. They'll start on the ground here on first down. And he stopped immediately there. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down.
On that play, it was the defensive front that won the battle. They out-leveraged the offensive line, got into the backfield, and held them to no gain.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. In motion goes the tight end. On play action, here's Williams. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
Oh, I like the calmness of how he played the ball here. No panic in his eyes as that throw arrived. Tracked it from the moment it left the quarterback's hand, and that's just where he needed to be to knock it away.
They come up to the line now facing a 3rd and 10 after the incompletion. To throw, Williams. Over the middle and into the hands of his receiver Moore. And he will have the Bears first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Whenever we talk about moving the sticks and controlling the football, there's a great example right there. Those are the 3rd downs you need to convert to win football games. We're in the 3rd quarter of this one, and this is a tight one. In order to maintain pace, keep the ball away from the other team, and put points on the board, those are the plays they need to continue to convert.
Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it 2nd down.
And that was a quality play to start a new set of downs. That was simply an offensive line winning the battle up front and winning in a big way and giving their guy in the backfield a nice lane to hit.
They'll fake the give. Now Williams. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
Well, you got to think that sooner or later they're going to hit one of those, but the coverage has been excellent thus far, and it was again on the last play.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Operating from the gun, Williams. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
1 first down here, and that's all, folks. Good work by this defense to hold things in check and force a punting situation.
Here comes the Bears punter now, as he's on to punt for the 4th time tonight. He juked him. So a good punt there, but a nice return of 11 yards. And they will take over 1st and 10. And the Colts coming out now. See if they can put this drive in the end zone, Charles, because it's been a little bit of a rough go at times. They've had to punt the football a ton in this ball game because of stalled out drives.
So are you saying that you're kind of tired of seeing the punter run out there and do his thing during this game? Is that what you're trying to say?
Well, I mean, I'm okay with it. I have a feeling that this offense, they don't want to see the punter again.
And frankly, the punter doesn't want to run out there anymore himself. He would love to see his offense put together a drive and give his leg a rest.
And hard running's going to get him over the 40 to the 42. 67 yards rushing for him now in the ball game.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
From the 42-yard line, here's 2nd and 3. Again, it's Taylor. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain that time as it's going to leave him with a third and about 3 to go.
His carries tonight, they're getting up there, so maybe one of those every now and then is understandable.
I would agree with that. Understandable every now and then. Sometimes you come back and you fake it to him and go play action. But other times you say, okay, they got him on that one. We'll come back to him in another carry.
And he is going to have a Colts first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
And that's the kind of play this offense needs to maybe kick them into gear a little bit. They've been stuck in neutral much of the game. Perhaps that can give them a little bit of confidence that big plays are out there.
First and 10, Taylor now. And down inside the 40 to about the 38. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards. And it's 2nd and 2.
Good yardage there on first down. Exactly what you want. Get yourself set up to keep making first downs, keep the clock running. And if they're smart, you're starting to milk the clock. No hurry before you run your second down play.
Second down, another run with Taylor. Fighting through. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. That one, a first down pickup of 8.
We use the word relentless a lot with guys who are aggressive on the field. In this case, it really fits, doesn't it? How about his ability to break tackles and his feet never stop moving?
So first and 10 now from the 30. Looking to throw. Jones. Throw out right, pulled in by Downs. It'll go as a gain of 4. And that'll bring up second down. Call it a 3-yard gain, and that's going to lead to a third down. Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. Out of the gun now on third down. And that almost intercepted. Oh, they would have loved to have their first pick of the game right there, but at least it does get them to fourth down.
How about this defense? They came up with a couple of big plays in this sequence, and none better than the one right there, forcing the incompletion and bringing up fourth down.
And his kick here is good. And the lead is down to 1 now at 14-13. So no problems at all on that one. And you know, there's virtually no win. This is a kicker's dream here tonight.
It absolutely is, isn't it? So to me, with no wind, it should be a passer's dream as well, right? But in this case, the defense held out. They had to force the field goal.
So we're back to a 1-point game now as the kickoff comes. And he'll be stopped up at the 25. The Chicago offense set to get started. Obviously not the intended goal last drive. They had to punt the football, but still they've got the lead here and now a chance to add on to that lead if they can get points on this drive. First and 10 upcoming. Looking to put a drive together. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And not a whole lot there, maybe a yard to the 27.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. He's going to try and do this himself. And he will slide to a stop. He does have the first down. That'll be marked as a 27-yard pickup.
It looked like almost a miscommunication defensively, because once he decided to keep it, he had pretty smooth sailing.
Yeah, it became a question of, wait a minute, who's got the quarterback? And when you talk about miscommunication, it's supposed to be called assignment football on the defensive side of the ball, but the assignment gets mixed up. That's the end result.
DeForest Buckner using that size to force his way in there and make the stop behind the line.
When a draw works, it can be a thing of beauty, but when it doesn't, oh, it can be ugly. And in this case, loss of yardage ugly.
To throw, it's Williams. And he is going to lose yardage here. Third down, now even tougher. 3rd and 13 after that loss of a yard.
Well, sometimes despite the best planning, the defense actually has a plan as well, and they blanketed everyone on that play. They were able to close it down and spill him for a loss.
So 1st and 2nd down went in the wrong direction. They'll try to do better here on 3rd and 13. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And they'll get him to the ground. He has another first down at the Colts' 32-yard line. A big play there as they get the conversion on 3rd and 13.
That's a play that will likely be forgotten when you talk about big moments in this game. But plays like this are critical to keep drives going. And if points result, we'll call this play significant.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Running is Monangai. And he's going to get this one down to the 30. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
You've got to be impressed by that defensive front on reps like those. They were not being moved off the line, kept their shoulders square, and gave their teammates time to fight to the ball and limit that gain.
Ball on the 30 now. Here's 2nd down and 8. Operating from the gun, Williams. And he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. Give him 10 yards there as this offense is on a roll. This drive continues to plunge forward.
What a drive this has been, just chewing up the yardage. And here's one of their best plays yet as they finally get down into the red zone and look to finish this off with 6.
They'll look to throw here on 1st down. And his throw here's incomplete. Colston Loveland, the intended receiver. And it's 2nd down. They'll run Monangai. And able to fight forward inside the 15 to the 13. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. Williams from the gun on 3rd down. He's got his target. That's complete. And the Bears are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points.
And Brandon, from our time in college football, where receivers weren't running the traditional NFL route tree, one thing they did learn, find open areas, find soft spots, and set up and catch the ball. And I think we just saw that there.
Yeah, we saw that indeed, picking up the first. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. A loss of 2 there, 2nd down.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through, but that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
On 2nd and goal, they'll give it to him again. And he is in. Touchdown, Chicago. Kyle Monangai, a 6-yard touchdown run. And the Bears are able to extend their lead in the final seconds of this 3rd quarter.
That almost looked too easy, and I think thanks goes to the offensive line for making it look easy.
Yeah, I agree with you totally on that one. I'm not sure how much everyone understands the preparations that go into a game for an offensive line, because there's a reason that running backs and quarterbacks give them big gifts at the end of the season after a big year. The consistency and the continuity it takes to know each other and execute their blocks is pretty impressive.
Now, after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away.
And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. The Colts come to the line, ready to start their next drive. And last time, able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. Back now at Soldier Field. It's the Colts, so they've got the football, but they've got work to do, trailing here as we begin the fourth quarter.
Here's a 2nd and 3 now from the 33.
Operating from the gun, Jones. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. 16 yards the pickup there. The Colts have a first down.
This possession means so much for them. They've got to focus on this drive and find a way to make this a one-possession game.
Yes.
Got to get a score.
Yeah, so good with a field goal. Don't necessarily need a touchdown. Here's Jones. Off the play fake. A short throw. This is caught by Cox. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
From just across the midfield stripe, here's a 2nd and 8.
They'll look to throw again.
He'll drop this down to Taylor.
They follow up the gain of 2 with a gain of 1 that time. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Again, he'll drop to throw.
Pass taken in by his big tight end.
And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made here at the Bears 35. Another good reception there. The Colts on the march.
And that's a much-needed first down right there. Look, they're down by 8. So logic says they don't have to get a touchdown out of this drive. But the way things are going, I don't know if I'd put it in the hands of my defense here. You might not get the ball back at all. So if a 4th down situation comes up, I'm thinking hard about going for it right here and right now.
And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Another strong gain on the last 2 plays. They've moved it a combined 33 yards.
Well, this is an awfully tough route to defend in man coverage because he lines up on the right and then runs a crossing route back to the other side of the field. So as a defender, you're not only trailing him the whole way, you're also looking out for your own guys to make sure you don't get yourself picked off. And then you can't catch up in time to prevent the completion.
Trying to run inside, but nothing there. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
On 2nd down, here's the option.
And holding it may be the wrong decision as he stopped in the backfield. They wind up losing a couple there, so they go behind the original line of scrimmage, and now 3rd and 11 coming up.
I don't think there's any doubt that if it's me, I'd be really cautious about continuing to call this play because you got to know, defenders, if they get a free shot at the QB, they want to take it, and they want to take it big.
And they got it there on the option play for a loss.
Oh, this will be incomplete. The rush gets home just as he was letting that go. That could have been worse. Instead, it's 4th down.
I think that was a good job there defensively. They did allow him to drive all the way downfield, but once they got their backs to the goal line, they really turned up the pressure.
Yeah, they let him get all the way down here. Now the field shrinks. They've struggled to convert, and that last incompletion brings up 4th. So an interesting call there to take the 3. I mean, I guess they're thinking that their hands were tied, but, you know, 4th quarter, that field goal might not help them that much in the end.
Yeah, eventually they're going to need the touchdown. The thinking must have been they didn't feel confident about picking it up there, hoping maybe on defense they can get better field position, get a turnover, get a better play, and then they'll have a chance to attack the end zone.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. Oh, a dangerous return man showing it here. And all in all, a pretty solid return. Nearly got it to the 35. They'll mark him down officially at the 34. Now the Bears offense ready to take over again. They have the lead, obviously, late in the game. I guess the good news for them is if for some reason they would make a mistake, a field goal does the opposition no good.
Everyone loves to have a little bit of a cushion, and that helps you immeasurably. But the bottom line is, do all the things that you're taught in order to close out the game. Don't even let that become an issue.
Yeah, but still a one-possession game. This one not fully over yet. And this defense not giving him anything there. Maybe a yard up to the 36.
And for the defense, this is a spot where you don't want to totally sell out to stop the run, but you do have a pretty good idea of what you're going to see. And that's good work right there to keep them in check on that first down carry.
Line of scrimmage, the 36 on 2nd and 8. Throwing is Williams. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up 3rd down.
Normally you think the tight end's going to be able to catch the football and handle that contact, but in this case, maybe a little too much target to hit. That one was timed well, incomplete.
From the gun, here's Williams. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he will have the Bears first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on 3rd down. Went his way. It worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
And he's going to be stacked up right at the line of scrimmage. Nothing there for him. 2nd down.
That was a terrific play, causing a loss. As a middle linebacker, simple. You can either fill holes or you can attack them, as he did there.
So after the loss of a yard, they'll look to push forward here on 2nd down and 11.
To the air, Williams.
Got a man, and he hits him in stride. It'll go down as a gain of 6, and it brings up 3rd and 5 now.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
That is caught.
And they'll get him to the ground. He has another first down at the Colts 28. Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs.
And that certainly appears to be a critical conversion right there, because not only do they keep the drive going, they take valuable time off the clock as well. They have to feel really good about that last completion.
On first down, they'll go to the ground attack. And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's second down. I'm sure that that's going to be the formula. Just keep the ball on the ground. Keep that clock moving.
And when you have the lead this late in the game, above all, stay in bounds. Yes, take care of the football. Yes, gain yardage, but stay in bounds and let that clock tick.
Hands it off out of the gun. And they'll get him down right about the 20. 3 yards is half of what they needed. Now can they get the other 3 here on third down?
Let's give a lot of credit to the offensive line. They've been able to move the ball really well on the ground the entire game. And while that wasn't a huge one, that's okay. They'll take them in short, steady bursts.
Looking to throw is Williams. Oh, he had a man open. He overshot him. It's incomplete.
And there, even if you've got to take something off that throw so that he slows down to catch it, that's far more preferable than what happened there. A big miss on what should have been a touchdown.
So now one of the biggest kicks of the night is forthcoming. This to put him a touchdown and a 2-point conversion up. Santos' kick is up and through, and that'll push the lead up to 8. Now, from a defensive perspective, though, I think maybe they're saying, hey, we did what we needed to do, kept this a one-score game.
Yeah, without a doubt, because they were able to bleed some time off the clock, right? Put themselves in a good position, but it's not out of reach yet, okay? Being able to hold them to a field goal means that they do have a chance to come back and win this game.
After the made field goal, Santos back out there to kick it away. And they will wrangle him down a couple yards shy of the 30. The Colts offense and running back Jonathan Taylor heading back onto the field. And he has put in a full game's work and then some. Just an incredible performance on the ground to this point in the fourth quarter. The Indy offense at the line and set to go. And remember, despite giving up the field goal, this is still a one-score game. They're in need of the touchdown and a 2-point conversion. A field goal on this drive likely doesn't do them much good. A short one there, caught by Warren. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup. 5th catch of the game for him there.
Yeah, and the tight end position is now becoming a volume pass catcher. Used to be occasional, right? Safety valve. Throw one to him every so often, but mainly they want him out there to block. Nowadays, an integral part of the passing game, and they create such great mismatches that they often become the leading receiver.
They'll give him 4 yards there, and that'll make it second down.
It's vitally important to wrap him up immediately, because if you let that big guy get ahead of steam up, boy, then you've got real trouble trying to get him down.
But they're able to hold him to a short gain on first down. From the 43, here's 2nd and 6. Off play action. Jones. That complete to Downs. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made here at the Bears' 45-yard line. Indianapolis moving the chains there on a gain of 12. So into Bear territory now. This is 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line. Now Jones. Now that's into the hands of Mo Alley-Cox, the tight end.
Nice rhythm throw there on first down. He located his tight end, made it a nice easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. Here's a 2nd and 5. Throwing, Jones. A short one there, caught by Warren. And they just keep marching right along. First down on a pickup of 8 there.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a first down.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Off the play fake, Jones. He'll be dropped at the 25 after a gain of 6.
When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one.
Here now, 2nd and 4. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And that one incomplete, but now a penalty flag coming in late. That might be PI. So pass interference, the call there. Always, obviously, Charles, such a subjective call. You agree with the penalty?
Well, from where we're standing right now, I think the officials are tightening things up here in the second half. Maybe a defender gets away with that in the first, but this time the flag comes out, and I think it's a good call.
And the Colts are going to have it 1st and goal as he'll take this down to about the 3.
Another carry for their leader and a good one. It's crunch time. They'll need him to continue to be productive in both the run and passing game in order for them to try and snatch a victory.
Jones will try and run with it. And he takes it in for a Colts score. Daniel Jones scoring on the 2-yard keeper. And the Colts have a chance to tie things up as they trail by 2 here in the 4th. So part 1 of what they needed is done. They get in the end zone. Now you have to imagine we'll see a try for 2.
And that's what the book says, but defensively, they can't hang their head right here. They still got a chance to come out with the lead if they make a play.
Here we go now as we get set for a big 2-point conversion. They'll try and run it in, but he is not going to make it. It's a big play by the defense, and they're going to hold on to their 2-point lead. So the lead shaved to 2 now as the kickoff is away. And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped at the 23-yard line. The Bears offense and their quarterback headed out for this next possession. And this defense might be about ready to wave the white flag. Nothing they have tried to throw at him has been that successful. He just processes things so quickly and makes a right read seemingly every time. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. A little less than 4 minutes remaining, and the margin for error is small with this slim lead. Operate within your 4-minute offense here, Charles?
Definitely. Remember, the 4-minute offense doesn't always correspond to what's up on the clock. What they need to do is play a little bit of keep away right now. Run the clock down. Make sure their opponent doesn't get the ball back. Their dream scenario, get enough first downs and make them eat up their timeouts so the game ends when you're kneeling down with the football.
Here's Johnson again on 2nd down. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. First down for the Bears, a gain of 15.
Well, it is our business to analyze what we saw out there, and on that play, I saw a defense staying in base, not taking a chance, not blitzing in a situation where they absolutely need the football back. That's either a case of overthinking it or not thinking it through.
If you do blitz, do you have to be careful about where you're coming from, or are you just coming from all angles?
You have to be careful about where you're coming from, obviously, but at this stage, you have to take a few chances as well.
Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. Now, the objective there, I mean, yes, the positive gain, that's nice, but work some clock.
Yeah, you're exactly right, but the problem for them is still within a possession, so they can't just sit on it running the ball. They'll have to find a way to throw it effectively as well.
Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. And he'll be brought down by the Colts. The Colts going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. Possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is 3rd and long. Back to throw. Williams. And pressure coming, and they got him once again. And this defense here going to burn their 2nd timeout. But you can also factor in another timeout that they'll get when the clock stops at the 2-minute warning. Here comes the Bears punter now, as he'll come on for his 5th kick of the night. This is taken at the 18. Officially, that'll go as a 52-yard punt. Not too shabby. So Daniel Jones and the Colts down by 2, 2:19 to play. And they need about 35 yards to get in range for a winner as they come up on 1st down. Now a play fake here on 1st down. Oh, he was hit as he threw it there, and that one winds up incomplete.
We've seen this quite a few times in this game. Offensive line unable to keep leverage, unable to keep people away, facing a lot of pressure. Fortunate just to get rid of it.
One of the reasons they're down is that inability, though, to stop the pressure. We saw another example of it there. On 2nd and 10, Jones. Throw left side, taken in by Pittman. And they'll wind up getting this to the 37. Gain of 9. 2 minutes remain, and that's our score differential as well. 2 points here in the 4th quarter. So the Colts in possession of the football as we get you reset. They face a critical 3rd down now, needing a score here in the late going. He's got his receiver. That's Warren. And he is going to have a Colts 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
And here we are in the 4th quarter, partner, and watch them drive for what would be a go-ahead touchdown. And you and I both know this is where you need a quarterback who can keep his cool back there, not just for himself, but to keep the rest of the team relaxed too.
Now Jones. Now this taken in by Downs. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35.
Brandon, it's okay what they're doing right now. Still able to work the middle of the field, but you know sooner or later they're going to have to stop the clock.
Just the 1 timeout remaining as they try to navigate this 2-minute drill. 1st and 10. And he's got his favorite target yet again. It's complete. Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts. And as the 2 teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break.
I think that's a big pickup for a 1st down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a 1st down, executed it to perfection. Here's 1st and 10. Jones. Quick hitter here. It's complete. Now the Bears going to use the second of their timeouts. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. Here's first down. Here's Jones. They'll set up the screen to Taylor. He takes it across for the touchdown, and they've taken the lead late in the final minute of the fourth.
Wow. Wow.
What a game this has been, and what a drive that was, Charles, to take the lead here late in the fourth quarter.
And, partner, that's a job well done by everyone, from the players to the guys calling the plays. And if I may introduce just one downside to the mix, might be a little bit too much time left. Enough on the clock for a final last-ditch effort to try and steal this win away.
Extra point attempt to follow here. And the lead is up to 5. So this drive spans 7 plays. And it was all finished off by the Jonathan Taylor touchdown catch. The Colts kicking team is out there now, and they will send this one away. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24. So the focus now shifts to the Bears, trailing by 5. A little under 50 seconds to go. They've surrendered a double-digit lead, but can rescue themselves late as they come up on first down. He's back to throw. That pass complete to Moore. And he's going to get out of bounds with the first down. So an ideal set of circumstances there. They move the chains, and they save that final timeout. That's what they need right now. Get the first down, get out of bounds, stop the clock.
Just playing smart football, understanding the situation, making the plays necessary, and making sure that clock stops at every opportunity.
A first down carry here for Johnson. And he's going to bull his way forward to the 48.
I know they got a little yardage there, but I'm not sure the investment is right. They're still running the football, and I'm not sure there's enough time to continue to do that.
Now 2nd and 4. Back to throw. He's got Johnson. And he will be out of bounds here, but that will take precious seconds off the clock on a play that will wind up going for no gain.
It didn't check off every box, but the most important one. Got the clock stopped, getting out of bounds. They may be a little short of the first down, but I thought that was the key.
This definitely 4-down territory at this point, but a critical 3rd down here. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. Now the Bears will use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop it with 11 seconds remaining in the ball game. This offense cannot stop the clock now. No timeouts remaining as they come up here first down. Back to throw. A throw out wide, going to be incomplete.
And let's face it, this defense has had its share of struggles all game long, and they know that they can put it all behind them if they defend well here in the 2-minute drill. Excellent coverage right there to force the incompletion.
Another try, 2nd and 10 now. They'll look to throw. This for all the marbles. And this will be incomplete. 1 second left to go. Down to their last chance now. This is going to have to be a heave for the end zone and just hope for a miracle.
And I don't sit back with everyone back defending. I've got to have somebody rushing the quarterback. Don't make it easy for him to set up and throw the ball all the way downfield.
One final shot. They'll look to throw. This for all the marbles. And this is incomplete. So no miracles here on the final play. And this ball game is over. Well, Charles, a pretty exhilarating finish to the end of this ball game. At the end, the Hail Mary prayers, though, they went unanswered. Could have won it, but couldn't get it done.
Almost felt schoolyard or playground, didn't it? Yeah, you remember when you called that play? Everybody just go long and try and find someone open. They gave it a shot, but unable to successfully complete it.
So that'll do it for my partner, Charles Davis, and the best darn crew in the industry. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. With that, we say good night from Chicago. Night beginning to fall over Southern California, but the lights are shining bright here at the spectacular SoFi Stadium in metropolitan Los Angeles. Coming up, we got a good matchup on tap here, as it'll be the San Francisco 49ers taking on the LA Chargers. Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis on hand. Kickoff just moments away. Charles, quickly, keys to the game.
For me, it's coaching. Who prepared his team the best going into this one to give them the confidence to believe that they would win the game? That's who's going to come out of this one on top.
Northern California visits Southern California. The Niners and Chargers. Off we go from L.A. And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26. Here are the Chargers ready to go on offense, led by their first-round pick in 2020, the man out of Oregon, Justin Herbert.
It hasn't taken Herbert long to earn this status as one of the league's best and most entertaining passers. He's locked and loaded on every snap, and the second he sees an opening, the ball's soaring downfield. You've got to be on your A game at all times against him. The second you slip up, he's liable to burn you.
Herbert on the first play wants to pass it. He'll dump this off to Hampton, complete. The game's first play produces 6 yards, brings up second down. On the ground, this is Amarian Hampton. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 3rd and 3.
Well, when you go from 2nd and 4 to 3rd and 3, that just tells you who won that battle on the last play, huh?
Yeah, first round went to the offense, second round the defense. Out of the gun, Herbert. And this pass broken up. The contact well timed there, and now 4th down.
Oh, I thought he had that one, and that was nearly a big 3rd down conversion to give this drive some life. Instead, they're on the spot and help separate the receiver from the ball.
On 4th down, J.K. Scott ready to punt it away. Back deep for the Niners, Sky Moore. And he didn't quite have the backspin on that one. It hits at the 4 and continues into the end zone. It's a touchback. So here's the first drive now for the 49ers. And a look here now at their 4th-year quarterback.
This guy's leadership is so important to how this offense functions. He doesn't shrink from any moments on game day, and everything he does with confidence. He sets the example in practice, off the field, and is the guy leading everyone out for each possession.
First carry of the game for Christian McCaffrey. And he is brought down at the 22 after a gain of 2, and it brings up second down.
Well, they always talk about playing great team defense, and that was an excellent example right there. Everyone on assignment, no one in the wrong spot, everyone filling their gaps.
From the 22, here's 2nd and 8. They stay on the ground. McCaffrey again. And they get him behind the line, so that short gain on first down quickly negated. He'll wind up losing 3, and now it's 3rd down.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that, got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
Purdy looking to throw. He's got his target. That's complete. And all the way down to the 39. A big 3rd down play there for the Niners. 42 yards.
Well, as my dad would say sometimes, I'm just scratching my head here trying to figure out what was going on there defensively. How did you lose him in the middle of the field? If you're going to lose a receiver, make sure it's someone on the short side of things, not deep downfield, that can hurt your defense.
And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. He was unable to shake free there, and they'll cover him for a loss of a yard.
And we constantly talk about people being on the same page. In this situation, the two of them saw the play with the same eyes. They understood where the open spaces were going to be, and they found a way to get there to pick up a new set of downs.
Throwing here, Purdy. Finding Bourne here over the middle.
They need to get to the 29 if they want to pick up a first here on 3rd down.
Now Purdy. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
I love those corners who can not only cover, but don't mind getting a little physical as well. How about the coverage on that play, knocking that pass away?
Now for the field goal try, here's Eddie Pinheiro. And quite a bit of pizza in this box. It's a 53-yard attempt. And that is no good. And this will remain a scoreless game. Now listen, now no kick from 50-plus is a gimme, but here you're indoors in a dome. You'd think ideal conditions.
Yeah, and it's one that he would expect himself to make, not just us expecting him to make it. Over the years, my theory is very simple. The athletic ability of kickers continues to get better and better. Check their backgrounds. They were all county, all state, at other positions, not just soccer players. These guys expect themselves to be great as well.
So the long field goal misses, and now the reverse. You're in a tough spot defensively. They'll start the drive at the 43. Looking right side, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Diamador Lenore. And the 49ers will have solid field position here as they take over at their 45-yard line. Thought he had the pick. Flag comes in for PI, so cancel it out.
Interference. Oh, a killer for them. Thought they had a nice play. Instead, they'll be marching off yardage against them.
After the penalty, a fresh set of downs. It's 1st and 10. Herbert going to give to Hampton. He'll get a nice chunk there on the 1st down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
They'll come up on a 2nd and 4 now from the 40-yard line. Again, it's Hampton. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4. When we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot. He had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
And he is going to have the Chargers 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. On 1st down, it's Hampton. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held him to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
Justin Herbert looking to pass. Call it a gain of 3 on the play. And it brings up 3rd and 5 now. They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks. Here's Herbert. Oh, he had him. He was open, but he couldn't get it to him. It's incomplete.
I spotted man coverage on the outside. I expect we'll see a lot of that from this defense as this game moves on. And that was a good job there as that one was knocked away.
Cameron Dicker on now to try the field goal. From the left hash, this from 34. And this one is right through. And the Chargers grab themselves a 3-0 lead. So after drive number 3 here, we have a score, and it's 3 points after the field goal.
I would say the feeling out process for both of these teams I'd say it's over, partner. Everyone understands what's going on now. You've kind of probed a little bit. Now you want to start throwing the big shots. First 3 points up on the board could be significant.
So after the touchdown, here's Dicker out to kick this one off. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. Back out there comes the 49ers offense, ready for their second drive. And they were in field goal range the last time out, but couldn't connect.
And it's early in the game, so I don't think that the confidence just goes entirely out of, running your kicker back out there. But let's face it, some coaches have a little bit less patience for that than others. Let's see if they call the game differently now in terms of what they do on drives and not try and settle for field goals.
And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's second down. He did an okay job of absorbing the hit, just couldn't secure the football through the catch.
And he was right there on the spot and forced the incompletion. That's something defenders work on all the time. If you're there, make the contact, but continue to work your way through the receiver so that you can't possess the football and turn it into a catch.
Up the gut, McCaffrey. And he'll get about 3 here as he's out to the 30.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Force the incompletion on first down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on second.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in an expected passing situation.
So 7 yards from the first down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage. Here's Purdy. Over the middle, that's complete to McCaffrey. And he is going to have a 49ers first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
There are a lot of tough routes to try and cover. When you see a runner come out of the backfield and run this angle route, looks like they're going to the flat, and then they put their foot in the ground and cut back sharply inside, not easily covered, and then when they catch it, good momentum built up by them as well.
And able to pick up the first. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up second down.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
Back to throw, Purdy. This is Jennings. And he'll go out of bounds, it looks like, right at the 40. Third and 9 here. Purdy will set up to throw it here. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he's brought to the ground with another first down at the Chargers' 42. A gain of 18 and a new set of downs.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
And he'll dump this off to his running back, McCaffrey. So 5 yards here, 5 on the play. And it'll be second down.
I know it was a gain, but you have to sense probably a little bit of disappointment there, because when it's out there in open space, I think they expect to get more out of a play, don't you?
Especially when you're getting it to your guy out of the backfield. You're expecting him to be able to create something, be a little more shifty.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Good open field tackling held it to an okay gain.
And he stopped immediately there. A loss on that play, and now third down gets tougher. 3rd and 6. Plays like we just saw there. That's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
This will wind up a loss on the play, and that'll bring up 4th down.
Well, it looked like the defense, they were ready for that one.
Really left him almost no room to work after catching the ball. He could throw every move in the book at him. They were there, and they tackle him for a loss.
Here's Thomas Morstead on now to punt it away on 4th down.
Back deep for L.A. is Darius Davis.
They bring the pressure as he gets this one away. And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. They've got a 3-0 lead and the football as they start 1st and 10. Looking to put a drive together. Play action. It's Herbert. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
It's another zone defense. It looks like it's open for possibilities, but they did a nice job patrolling the middle of the field and forcing an incompletion.
2nd and 10. Out of the gun, they'll run with Hampton.
And he'll be taken down at the 20 after a gain of just 1.
Defensively, we always know that he is tough in run support, and I think the way that he gets there is he understands what an offense is going to do before the ball's even snapped. A great job of scouting prior to the game, then reading, reacting, and taking the right path to the ball carrier.
Herbert.
Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he is going to have the Chargers 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on 1st quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
And he's out of bounds, able to take this one up to the 35. It'll be a gain of 5. And that will bring up 2nd down.
I know sometimes we can get fooled when we watch him make catches, as we just saw him do there, because he really looks like a wide receiver the way he goes about his business.
Yeah, 230, 240 range.
Yeah, not super huge. Maybe not counted on to be that inline point-of-attack blocker that we used to have in the good old days, but you can flex him out. You can run wide receiver routes with him. You can make him a primary target, and that's how he'll shred a defense.
There are times on carries like that where he looks a little bit older than his rookie status.
How many times have we talked when we've gone out to dinner about how precocious these youngsters are that come into the NFL now? They play at a higher level at a younger age. The stars aren't quite in their eyes as much as they used to be, huh?
And he's got this one across midfield into 49er territory.
Now, that was an excellent run. And when you see that happen, that's when you're seeing guys doing their job and then some people doing a little bit more. Offensive linemen and tight ends, they're expected to block. But the wide receivers, all they want to do is catch passes. So when they block on a big-time running play and create extra space, you've kind of hit the jackpot there.
And this time they were waiting for him as he'll be knocked down before he can get back to the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
We all have habits. We can be somewhat predictable, and you know me pretty well on 2nd down and short. What I like to see.
Play action.
Yeah, without a doubt. I thought that was a great spot to call it. Instead, didn't go their way, did it?
No, defense sold out for the run. Worked out well. And he will not only not get the yard he needed, he goes the wrong direction. It's a loss of a full 3 yards, and it brings up 4th down.
Well, that's not an easy play for a defensive end because most of his responsibility has him getting upfield and working, but how about his vision to see where the play was going, crashed down inside, and tackled him for a loss.
Here's J.K. Scott set to do the punting honors. He gets this away. It's a good one, drawing toward the sidelines.
San Francisco set to go on offense once more. The last series for him, a little disappointing, forced to punt. And now they'll try to do better here and come away with some points as they begin this drive. 1st and 10.
Purdy going to lead the 49ers to the line, 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. And down right around the 32-yard line, 4 yards on the pickup. Second down and 6 now. Purdy connects with Kittle underneath. So give him 2 yards there on the completion. And now it's 3rd and 4.
Well, that was an okay hookup there with his tight end, but unfortunately, they didn't get the kind of yards they had hoped for. That's going to bring up 3rd down.
The Chargers trot out their dime package, expecting a throw on 3rd down. Purdy now to throw. Pass caught by Pearsall. And he'll be tackled about 2 yards shy of the line to gain. A 1-yard pickup leads to 4th down. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. The 49ers with the football here to begin the second quarter, as they've got it with a 4th down coming up. Now the veteran Thomas Morstead on to punt it away. Yeah, he was looking for the checkup bounce, didn't get it. That scoots all the way into the end zone now for a touchback. Here's a Los Angeles offense as they get set to take possession. The defense got the better of them last series, forcing a punt. See if they make a few changes in the game plan here and try to get points out of this drive. 1st and 10. Herbert and the Chargers now with a 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Oh, a heck of a move.
Man.
And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. The catch and run there, good for 16 and a first.
Well, every now and then I can speak from experience because I do know as a defender, it is awfully hard to stay with your man on these crossing routes because even if you don't get picked, there's a danger of being picked either by one of their receivers or maybe by your own defender. And on that play, that worked quite well.
Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
This defense is really flown around in the first half. They've gotten to the ball carrier before they can really get started. Offense got to come up with something else in order to try and get this running game going.
Now Herbert with it, looking to pass. He finds his target, Allen. And this will move the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the 49ers 40. That one good for 26 and a first down.
Brandon, what's even more impressive is that came against double coverage. He gashed them with that reception, even with the extra focus that he drew from the defense.
And they'll send the tight end in motion here. Up the middle, it's Hampton. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. That's now a pair of explosive plays in succession, both north of 20 yards.
They're making it look easy out there. Another first down. So far on this drive, let me do this little bit of math here. 4 plays, 3 first downs.
That's a pretty good recipe for success. Back to throw here, Herbert. His throw caught at about the 5. And the Chargers are going to have a 1st and goal coming up as the tackle made at the 3-yard line.
Just picking up yardage in bunches here these last few plays. They have moved right down the field, and just like that, they're going to be set up with a 1st and goal.
Hampton. Oh, he's going absolutely nowhere as he is hit behind the line. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
Now it's Herbert. And this is caught. He's got it. Touchdown, L.A. Rondé Gadsden with an amazing diving catch as his guys are able to extend their lead. Well, that's just how they drew it up, CD. His first read was there, got it to him quickly and into the end zone.
Absolutely excellent execution by all involved. And the coordinator, gotta give him credit, found the perfect play call. Quarterback let it fly as soon as the target came free, and his guy made a nice catch. Just how you draw it up in practice and then execute it in the game.
Extra point up and good by Dicker. And the lead grows to 10-0. So that winds up a 7-play drive all told. And it winds up with a touchdown for Los Angeles. Now, after the Dicker field goal, he's back out, ready to send it away. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. The 49ers offense now, they work their way back onto the field. Nothing for them yet from an offensive standpoint, down 10-zip as they come up 1st and 10. Looking to put a drive together. Purdy from the gun. Connects with Kittle underneath. A gain of 8 there on the play. And they'll be left with 2nd and a couple.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
From the 34-yard line, here's 2nd and a couple. McCaffrey on the counter. And getting this just shy of midfield. They'll spot it at the 49. 15 for the Niners there and a 1st down.
Give every member of that unit a ton of credit for ripping off such a big gain there, because you don't get free for that many yards on a counter or misdirection without everybody selling the heck out of it.
Back to the ground on 1st. It's McCaffrey. And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. Tuli Tuipulotu, he got in there and met him behind the line of scrimmage.
We think, Brandon, I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They're getting a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And a great example right there for the loss on the tackle. That's complete to Pearsall. So it's a gain of 12 there on the reception. And they'll be faced with a 3rd and inches.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes when they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air. And sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect.
There may have been a little bit of an element of surprise there. 3rd and inches, and they go quarterback sneak. I still feel like this is a play that often is reserved for 4th down.
On 1st down, this is McCaffrey. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up.
That's a strong pickup right there on 1st down. And as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
Now 2nd and 5. Looking to throw. Purdy connects with Kittle underneath. And he's brought to the ground with another 1st down at the Chargers' 25-yard line. 12 yards there as they move the chains.
And this offense has been a little slow to get going, but some signs of life here in this second quarter. They're moving it pretty good, and that helps the cause as well. Good yardage and another first down.
McCaffrey running up the middle. And he maneuvers up the middle for 3, and it's second down.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. From the 22 now, here's second down and 7. Operating from the gun, Purdy. Nowhere to turn this time, and he goes down. Sacked back at the 29. Deion Henley in there to bring him down.
They've gobbled up over 30 yards of turf so far, but a sack knocks them backwards, and that interrupts the momentum they were building. Good opportunity for the defense to escape this drive before they get to the end zone.
The offense on third down tonight, they've hit 4 of 7. This is 3rd and 14. Back to throw. Purdy. Under pressure, they got him again. They bring the safety on the blitz, and he busts through to drop him for an 8-yard loss.
Well, certainly some teams are not intimidated by down and distance on defense, are they? 3rd and very long? Let's go get this guy again. Big-time pressure.
Eddie Pinheiro on now. And quite a bit of pizza in this box. It's a 53-yard attempt. This is up and good from Pinheiro. And they get themselves on the board here. It's 10-3. So he missed his first attempt, remember, but this time he gets back on the bike and knocks it home.
Yeah, and sometimes that first one can really impact you moving forward. It can just stay with you too long and affect everything else you do during the game. In this case, though, able to shake it off. He's riding high again.
After the field goal, on to kick it away is Pinheiro. Oh, he shifts past him. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. The Charger offense and Justin Herbert heading back onto the field. He had the touchdown pass last time they had it. And they'll start here with a 1st and 10. Looking to put a drive together. They'll start it out with a run by Hampton. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. There to stop him on the defensive side, Fred Warner.
That felt like a trap because it looked to me like the opposing front was on that play from the get-go. They had everyone crashing the ball carrier before he even made the line, and they hold him to just a yard.
Here's Herbert. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
And, partner, to me, that one was all about timing. If he's there too early, it's going to be a pass interference call. If he's too late, it's a completed pass. He was Johnny on the spot on that one.
After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. And they'll send the tight end in motion. Herbert now. And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's 4th down.
Well, they came up with points in their first 2 possessions, but it looks like they'll come up empty here on their 3rd drive. The defense finally starting to get locked into them a little bit. Might have to go a little bit deeper into their playbook on their next possession.
On is the punter Scott here as he gets this one away. Here's Moore on the return. And that's going to go in the books as a 55-yard punt. Well done. And the Niners will go on offense, 1st and 10. And now this offense comes back out onto the field. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you've met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick other than the extra point. That's it.
And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
I know at times people think we use it too often, but you've got to be able to throw guys open. And when you read zone, you've got to stick it in there before your receiver gets to the next guy in the zone. Otherwise, you bring him into the play.
And that's precisely what allowed that defense to disrupt the pass. Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Purdy, 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5.
What terrifies defenses when they see slant routes thrown is that the receiver is on the move, and oftentimes he catches it and gets upfield. That's a really nice job rallying to him and stopping him for a minimal gain.
Here is 3rd and 5. Looking to throw. Purdy. Over the middle, complete. It's Jennings. And he's going to be a yard short. Needed 4, but got 3.
A short gain that doesn't get them the 1st down brings up a 4th down situation.
Really nice job defensively. They knew where the sticks were. They got the stop before it. Here's Thomas Morstead now as he's on to punt for San Francisco. He's been a busy man here in this 1st half as he gets it away. Davis now to return it. It'll wind up being a net of 41. 9-yard return, 50 on the punt. And it'll be Charger football here as they take over. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. The passing game, they've had more success there than the running game. Maybe something they game plan for.
How come they didn't tell us about it?
Because they wanted to keep it a secret.
We did ask, didn't we? But I think what happened in this one is they've realized that they've established the run pretty well, and teams are going to key on that. They thought they could open it up and have success through the air, and that's exactly what's going on.
Yeah, they've had success, at least so far here in the 2nd quarter. And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds. Yeah, give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
Brandon, we just saw the benefits of being able to run the ball successfully. They pick up 4 yards on that carry. So now if you're a play caller, you can do just about anything you want. But on the defensive side of the ball, you're scrambling a little bit. Now you're behind trying to figure out, do I need to blitz him? Do I need to pressure him? How do I gain an advantage on this snap?
And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. 17 yards for the Chargers there as they've got themselves a 1st down. Now a 1st carry for their fullback. And a minimal gain here as he's up to about the 47-yard line.
Now that's the defense that they were looking for, being able to get extra bodies to the point of attack to deal with the big guy carrying the ball. You really don't want to be in a position where it's a one-on-one tackle with him.
Ball on the 47-yard line. Here's 2nd down and 8. They'll fake the handoff. Now Herbert. Now this one finds McConkey. And this will move the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the 49ers 23. A gain there of 30 big ones.
A very nice job right there, working the middle of the field, able to create some separation and then utilize it to not just make the catch, but turn upfield once he got the ball in his hands.
On the give, this is Hampton. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. 61 yards for him on the ground so far tonight as he has been terrific in this 1st half.
I'm not sure how much more evidence they need, partner, than to understand that if they don't start to slow him down, it's going to be a long afternoon here at the stadium because he is just shredding them at this point. And let's face it,
and he takes it in for a Charger touchdown. Omari and Hampton, an 8-yard touchdown run. And the Chargers go up by 2 touchdowns. Some good running there at the end of the drive. He had the burst that set up the 1st and goal, and then one play later, he's in the end zone.
Brandon, what I liked about that sequence is I'm not sure who made the play call, but they understood the situation, understood the momentum. A nice hard charging run, give it right back to him and let him cap things off.
Extra point up and good by Dicker. And the lead is now 17-3. That time a 6-play drive and a 9-yard run on the end of it. Here's Dicker now as he'll send this one away. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. The 49ers offense now, they get set to head back on the field. Purdy going to lead the 49ers to the line, 1st and 10 at their own 26. Connects with Kittle underneath. And he's able to get this one up to his 30 before he's out of bounds.
I know the halftime's approaching, but I don't think he's going to want to take a break. That's his 5th catch.
Yeah, they've really been targeting the tight end. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. Ball on the 30 now. Here's a 2nd down and 6. Purdy looking to throw. And this is caught. Jennings. And he gets this to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out.
And a nice job by the two of them to not only connect on the pitch and the catch, but to carry over their practice work to the game field. They saw the adjustment by the defense, made an adjustment themselves, and picked up the 1st down.
Throwing here, Purdy. He'll get this underneath to McCaffrey. That'll go for a gain of 7, and it's 2nd down. Now Purdy. And the Chargers rush is going to get there. Down he goes. The 49ers now going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. Now, right where this set of downs started, they need a full 10 here to pick up the 1st down and move the chains. On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. That's caught outright by Jennings. And he stopped up short of the 1st as they tackle him down at about the 36. That's good. The completion there for 7 yards. And that's going to make it 4th down.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the 1st down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
And this is off the left upright. And it comes back. It's no good. And this will remain a 2-touchdown game.
And now 2 problems as I see it. First, you missed the kick, which granted was a long one. But second, you set the other guys up with great field position and enough time to maybe get downfield and get a field goal attempt of their own.
The Charger drive about to get going. And with good starting field position and 3 timeouts as well in their pocket, no reason not to try and put a late scoring drive together. And that one going to be off target and incomplete. Here's 2nd and 10. Here's Herbert. Right side, he has Johnston. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. A 10-yard pickup, and it's enough for a Charger first down. Justin Herbert looking to pass. He's got a man. That's Keenan Allen. The Chargers going to signal for the first of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with just under 30 seconds to go in the first half.
That looked like a pretty good route combination there, because you've got to find a way to clear the guy running the drag, because when you do, you just put the ball on him and then let him run.
Yeah, he's got some space. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Herbert off of play action. He's got the tight end. That's Gadsden. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. 18 yards there, down to the 18, and a first down.
Another nice play there. They've gotten down into the red zone in no time at all. That's what this offense can do when they get on a roll. And now they're set up with a 1st and 10.
Again, he'll drop to throw. They'll set up the screen to Hampton. And he's down inside the 5 at the 4 before he's out of bounds. Another strong gain on the last 2 plays. They've moved it a combined 33 yards.
And sometimes when you run a screen pass down in the red zone, it's really tough to create a lot of room to operate. The field's pretty condensed. But that was really well designed there, and they're able to pick up a first down.
Play action this time for Justin Herbert. He's got his man. It's caught. Touchdown, Chargers. Ladd McConkey, as the first half is winding down. And the Chargers will extend their lead here just before halftime.
That score that they just gave up there, that's a tough one for their defense to swallow, because they've had a tough time through the first 2 quarters. They really were determined to get a stop there, unable to do so. That makes their comeback hopes that much more difficult.
Dicker down to tack on the extra point. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21 points. A drive that time of 6 plays. And it ends with the Chargers getting into the end zone. So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And the decision to bring it out, kind of a costly one, as he won't make it back to the 20. The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive. And with 10 seconds left, not really enough time to put something together. And defensively, they're just looking to keep him contained as they're able to get him down. It's a pickup of 7, and it is also the final play of the first half. So halftime here out west. Let's go east. That's where we find Scott Hanson with our EA Sports halftime report.
All right, Brandon, thanks much. Welcome in, everyone, to the Orlando studios. Scott Hansen with you for a quick recap of the first half, which has been strongly one-sided. This is heading towards blowout territory unless they can come from behind and get themselves a victory. Let's find out what happens in the second half. Let's go back out to the commentary team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Scott, thank you very much. We are ready to get started here with the second half. The 49ers going to have the football and trailing on the scoreboard as we get back underway on EA Sports. Oh, a good-looking return set up here. And all in all, a pretty solid return. Nearly got it to the 35. They'll mark him down officially at the 34. The 49er offense set to go to begin quarter number 3. And you have to think, Charles, down 3 scores already. They need to play an almost perfect second half to have a solid chance.
And that absolutely starts with finding some way to put together a touchdown drive here. They need to be smart, fast, efficient, get the ball into the end zone, and do it again multiple times in order to have a chance to win this game.
Starting the second half with a run by McCaffrey. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. 15 yards is the pickup there, and the drive starting very nicely. First down.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
2 catches in the first half. Now he's got a third here, and it's good for a first.
And it's a real luxury when you have a guy who can turn a short throw into a solid gain at any moment. Once he caught that ball, he ID'd where the open grass was and got there in a hurry to pick up a new set of downs for his offense.
Shotgun handoff now to McCaffrey. A good gain of 9 before he's brought down at the 28.
This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him.
Ball on the 28-yard line. Here's second down and 1. Again, they run. Again, it's McCaffrey. A nice little juke. 66 yards rushing for him in the ball game now on 14 carries. He finds his way into the secondary again on this drive. They might want to try getting him down a little closer to the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, what do they call that? Third level run. First level being the D-line and linebacker. Second level in the secondary, the third. When you block it up well and you make the secondary do all the tackling, that will wear on a defense.
And he maneuvers his way down to the 3-yard line. It's a gain of 7 on the ground. Second down coming up.
Hey, when you get good yardage like that on first down, it really does a whole lot of good for your entire offense. But I love the way he's finishing those runs. At the end of things, he's making sure he gets just a little bit extra.
Now this time they'll throw it. Here's Purdy. And he's got it. So that'll be no better than an incompletion. And now we've got a third down and 3. Now the old pass completion for no gain, not something you want to call up out of the playbook too often.
Yeah, most offensive coordinators don't have that on their play sheet, so they've got to go back and scramble after this one. But right now, with what they're telling receivers about making sure you take care of the ball in open field, sometimes the fighting for extra yardage doesn't come as a result. That and good tackling can lead to no yards gained.
They call it a loss of a yard there. And that's going to bring up a fourth down.
I know we saw the pass and the completion and obviously the resulting loss of yardage. To me, that play broke down with the blocking on it, because if you're going to try and swing it that far outside, that blocking's got to hold up to give your guy a chance.
And the defense, they weren't fooled at all.
No, not at all. Boy, were they aggressive on that one.
Purdy on 4th down. That is caught by the tight end, Kittle. Touchdown, 49ers. A 3-yard touchdown pass. And the Niners take the chance on 4th and goal, and it pays off with 6. That's a score you felt they had to have here in the third quarter to get back in this game.
And you know that there was an emphasis on their side. Hey, we know this. We know where we are. But sometimes that binds you up so much that you try too hard, you don't get the score. A perfect combination of urgency, yet relaxed enough to get it done.
Piñeiro's extra point up and good. And that cuts the lead to 24-10. Now after the touchdown, here's Piñeiro to kick it off. And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26. Now we'll look at the Chargers offense. They get ready for their first possession of the second half. And they were terrific in the first half, built up a sizable lead, and it's just been cut into a bit following the opening drive score on the other side. But this is a unit that has to be itching to get the football again.
You can say that again. They've got to be pretty eager because, let's face it, they've had to sit through halftime, then sit on the sidelines and watch that drive. So you can bet that they're saying, let's get on with this. We got to go out there and get some more points.
He'll get a yard, that's all, as they get him down at the 28.
Well, sometimes you just have to give credit to the defense. Great job there at the point of attack, holding up. They won their battles at the line of scrimmage, left him no space to try and run. A really nice job swarming to the ball carrier.
Play action. It's Herbert. This one complete to his fullback out of the backfield. And down right around the 32-yard line, 4 yards on the pickup.
Well, they certainly spread the ball around so far, but they're definitely getting everyone involved now when you're throwing it to the fullback. It just shows how versatile this offense is and how everyone is a threat.
In motion, the tight end. Herbert. That one complete to McConkey. And oh, he's just going to be short here, barely. Maybe by a half a foot. It'll be 4th and inches.
Well, it looks like they got what they wanted. They got the completion, but they weren't able to break any tackles or gain nearly enough yardage to pick up the first down. Now to be 4th and short.
Here's J.K. Scott now as he's on to for L.A. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. And he couldn't get it to check up. That kicks all the way into the end zone for a touchback. Brock Purdy and the 49ers out for their next possession. And he had the touchdown on the last drive, also 4 for 4. Very, very effective. What does he need to do to translate that forward into this drive?
Not think that what he saw in coverages last time is exactly what he's going to get again. He's got to play ahead and start thinking to himself, okay, we just did that. What are they going to take away now? What do we go to as a counter? And continue to encourage his offensive line to continue to give him time.
They were really good on the last drive.
A lot of times it's that first read that you have. Maybe you get it in pre-snap, and he locked in on his target, but he was covered quite well, and that one's incomplete.
After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. This is McCaffrey on the give. And he'll be tackled at the 23 after a gain of 3. Not the start to the drive they were looking for. That run doesn't do much at all.
No, not at all, and it leaves them with 3rd and long. And you know, this is the time of game where these drives really, really start to matter. They've got to make some moves.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Purdy will set up to throw it here. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. 7 catches for him now, and this last one, a first down.
And that's how you pick up a first down. Not only does he make the catch, but has enough body control to get his feet down inbounds, toe tapping and dragging to make sure he gets it done.
They'll give it up to McCaffrey. Yeah, boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain. Looked like he was trying to bounce it outside, but no success.
Yeah, sometimes you got to just figure out where you're going to go, and sometimes you just have to take it to another spot. In trying to get it outside, the defensive pursuit was there and just ran him down.
Purdy. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11. Boy, how good has this defense been seemingly all game long?
I really think right from the first snap, I think you're really onto something there. In this passing game, it just can't get off the ground. And that play, it wound up losing yardage.
Purdy from the gun on 3rd down. Over the middle, that's complete to McCaffrey. And he is going to have a Niners first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
But they certainly had success throughout this contest getting him the ball in the passing game, and there he picks up another first down. Whatever they saw going into this one, they've been able to capitalize on it, and no adjustment has been made to take it away.
McCaffrey. And he's swallowed up right near the line of scrimmage. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
They work now on 2nd and 9. They stay on the ground. McCaffrey again. And he's fortunate to get anything from that. Give him a yard up to the 49.
Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first 2 plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a 3rd and long at the outset of this drive. Out of the huddle now for play number 9 on this drive. This is 3rd down and 8. Here's Purdy. Toward the sideline, it's complete. An athletic grab, but still well short of the first. They'll get only a yard out of that, and it'll bring up 4th down. He's been a busy man here in this one, and they're showing off some nice footwork to stay in bounds.
And with those types of catches and the volume that we've seen in this game, wouldn't you keep him busy as well?
I would.
Of course. You got to keep throwing it to him. He keeps making plays.
And this will be up to the ruling of the side judge here. He says it crossed out of bounds at the 16-yard line. The Chargers offense and Justin Herbert getting set for this next drive. And he's been a nightmare to scheme against throughout this one. This defense has been totally taken apart, and that is borne out in his numbers. He's been terrific all game long. The Charger drive about to get going. This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you content to play the field position game?
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why put them in a tougher spot? You want to get out there and get something done on offense and maybe take command of this game yourself.
They may want to go back to that one. First play of the drive, good for 15 and a first down.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the 3rd quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
Found a little room there as he's up to about the 37. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
That's a really nice, tough run inside, and they gained 5 yards on it. And to be frank about it, most offenses don't expect to get 5 yards on a play call like that. So when they do, they go back to their huddle with a little pep in their steps. They're starting to think that they're starting to dominate the line of scrimmage.
Now a toss, left side, Hampton. And the defense on him quickly there as they stop him at the 40 for a gain of just 2. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
They need 2. Here's third down. Back to throw here, Herbert. He's got his target. That's complete. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. A big play that time on the catch and run. And the Chargers are going to get themselves a fresh set of downs here.
With the kind of game he's had so far, you had to know that on third down that they would be looking his way, and they did, for big yardage and a first down. I think the defense fell asleep at the switch on that one. I would have doubled him, tripled him, anything to keep the ball out of his hands.
And this defense not ready for that one as he'll take this down inside the 25. 89 yards for him on the ground now. He has been a tough man to bring down all night.
But they're getting ready to go to work now in prime real estate after that last run. Found his spot and picked up nice yardage, didn't he?
And now he's got him knocking on the door of the red zone. Back to Hampton on first down. And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. That's good for 21 yards and a first down.
Well, that last run makes this a 100-yard night. I've loved the way he's hit the holes. He's been quick, he's been decisive, and he's been a whole lot of fun to watch.
Now it's Herbert. A quick throw there going to be batted away and incomplete.
Coaches talk about it all the time. Players talk about it as well. Excellent job staying disciplined in coverage and making that stop. Inside the red zone, every stop like that could be preventing a possible touchdown.
They'll go again from the 3 here on 2nd and goal. Hampton going to try to punch it in. And the D not yielding much there. He's only going to get a yard to about the 2.
Well, the spotlight hit him once already tonight as he got into the end zone. He was trying to make it a double spotlight, wasn't he?
But credit the defense, bottling him up, not letting him get in for the second score there. Big play coming here. It's 3rd and goal. Here's Herbert. Open man, it's Johnston. Touchdown, Chargers. A 1-yard touchdown pass. And the Chargers have moved out in front by 3 touchdowns.
That drive that really increased their cushion felt very military to me. Very precise, methodical. That's one of the words you've taught me. And they just got it done.
And slowly but surely now starting to pull away a little bit. Things looking good for them here in the 3rd quarter.
Not only pulling away, but you mentioned that slowly but surely. You also drain clock, too, with a drive like that. So you really give yourself an advantage.
Extra point up and good by Dicker. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. So after the touchdown, here's Dicker out to kick this one off. And he won't quite make it to the 25. As San Francisco's offense returns to the field, I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
Purdy going to lead the 49ers to the line, 1st and 10 at their own 24. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. That's complete to Pearsall. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Successful start to the drive, 17 yards. It moves the sticks.
And this is what they're going to need more of. It's the 3rd quarter. You're trailing. You've got to come out with a renewed sense of purpose And that's a nice way to kick off the drive with good yardage and a first down.
Purdy bootlegging it. Pass caught by Pearsall. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another first down.
Well, we talk all the time about playing situational football, and right now I think the scoreboard is dictating what they need to do. Where they are in this game, they've got to push the ball downfield, take their shots, try and get big chunks of yardage in a short amount of time. That was a nice play there.
From the shotgun to McCaffrey. 83 yards rushing for him now to this point.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, got to like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a first down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
From the 31, here's 2nd and 4. Now Purdy. And he's going to be taken down. Pressure gets there back at the 39-yard line. Tui Pelotu. It'll go as a loss of about 8 as he gets in there to drop him.
Oh, you can just see it in their body language. They're starting to see victory on the horizon now, and if it comes to fruition, they got to give a game ball to the front 7. Defensive line has taken charge and controlled this game. Face a challenge of stopping this opposing offense, and they've done so with ease.
So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his 3rd down play as we've played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now at SoFi Stadium in Inglewood. It's 49er football, but some ground to cover. They find themselves behind as we hit the 4th and final quarter. Throwing here, Purdy. He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
And they're at the point of the ball game now where they've got to take some chances. They've got to put the ball in the air and just see what happens. But this defense knows that all too well.
All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. Oh, there's that man again. It's complete. And he is going to have a 49ers first down on what will be a big play there on 4th and long. Felt compelled to go for it there on 4th down, trailing in the 4th quarter. They got it done.
And there's always a lot of pressure on a 4th down call. Doesn't matter the distance. You still have to get it done, as you noted, and they did.
Purdy now to throw. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Jennings. That will go as a pickup of 7 on the 7th play of the drive.
I think a lot of people ask the same question all the time. Why do we see so many slants in the red zone? Well, the windows are tighter. Everything's more condensed. It has to be quicker, and you've got to deliver the ball on time. Your biggest worry, ball gets tipped in the air, because if that happens, then it's fair game for the defense.
And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. 2 yards the loss, and now they go from 2nd and 2 to a tough 3rd and 4.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively, because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Complete to the tight end, Kittle, over the middle of the field. The gain of 5 that time gives him the conversion and makes it 1st and goal.
Well, he does have 1 touchdown in the game already, and while this one won't go for 6, it's enough to get him 1st and goal. But you and I both know he's going to be a little upset he didn't cross the goal line for a 2nd time in this one.
Might want the ball here on the next play. Purdy looking to throw. A quick throw knocked away and incomplete.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
Line of scrimmage, again the 4-yard line, 2nd and goal. Back to throw, Purdy. And across the chalk into the end zone. It's a 49er touchdown. Christian McCaffrey from 4 yards out. And the Niners have got it back to a 2-score game here in the fourth. So a little bit of a letdown there defensively. I mean, look, you're still 2 scores to the good, CD, but things may be a little more uncomfortable than they had hoped.
Yeah, if you'd kept them out of the end zone there, this game's over. You've locked the door on them. Instead, it's still open a little bit, and they've got a puncher's chance.
Pinheiro now to add the extra point. And the lead will be cut down to 14. A pretty long drive that time. 11 plays all told. And it's finished off by a receiving touchdown from Christian McCaffrey. Now after the touchdown, here's Pinheiro to kick it off. And out a little across the 25 to the 27. The Chargers offense and their running back getting set to go once more. And it's hard to believe you could run the ball a whole lot better than he has. The vision, the cutback ability, the acceleration, it's all been on display throughout. The Charger drive about to get going. Now, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this fourth quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball. Good push from the offensive line, and they've done well so far to build this lead. Now, they've got to get things to the finish line, and that's a solid pickup there to begin the drive.
They'll fake the handoff. Now Herbert. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
It's pretty easy to overlook the fullback when you're making your assignments defensively in the pass coverage game. But in this case, they made him pay for that oversight and picks up a nice gain.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. On the option right, Herbert. And he'll slide to a halt here, still a little shy of the first down marker. He'll get 8 on the keeper there. It'll be 2nd and a couple.
Oh, man, that wasn't far from breaking in a big way into the secondary. Read option, quarterback kept it. And while he didn't get a first down, he did get a nice chunk of yardage. Only a nice tackle prevented it from maybe going all the way.
Herbert going to give to Hampton. And they'll get this just to the 47, 1-yard gain.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Trying to run for it with Hampton. And he is going to have the Chargers first down. At least it would appear that way. He didn't get it by much, but yes, they do get the conversion on 3rd and 1.
Brandon, when a defense just simply can't get off the field on 3rd down, and we all know how important that down is for both sides of the ball, you often feel like you're just a step behind whatever they're doing offensively.
And one of the differences in this game, no doubt, 3rd down conversion, and that is going to be a story they'll talk about after this one. A 14-yard gain there as they look to improve this 14-point lead. At carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.
It'll be a pickup of 5 on the keeper. It's 2nd down. Now that's what he can do, when he keeps the football. It's not a huge gain, but It shows how hard it can be to stop him.
Yeah, and I thought the defense had that one pretty well contained, and in fact, they probably came up and felt pretty good about what they did. Then they looked up and realized he still got good yardage out of it. He's a tough guy to stop.
And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. A loss on that play, and now third down gets tougher. 3rd and 6. In motion goes the tight end. From the gun, Herbert on 3rd down. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. Only able to gain a couple there, and it'll be 4th down.
That pattern and scheme was well defensed on 3rd down. He tried to just sprint from one side of the field to the other, and they got it to him quickly. But no chance at yards after the catch there, and they stop him short.
And this one looks good. It is good. Right down the pipe, and that will extend their lead even further. So that almost certainly the final piece to this puzzle, a 3-score lead. I don't think there's any coming back from there.
Well, you know, normally I'd get on you for giving up on the game right here, but I do think you're right in this case. This late in the game, 2 scores is tough enough. 3, I'm with you. That seems out of the question.
Now after the Dicker field goal, he's back out, ready to send it away. And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. And San Francisco gets set to go here. Well, we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
Throwing to start the drive. Purdy connects with Kittle underneath. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. That good for 21 yards on the catch and run. Well, those are the types of plays they probably wish they had made more of in the first 3 quarters. And this deficit going to be tough to overcome here in the 4th. But a nice first down and a pickup on that throw.
Yeah, and this is where as coaches, you're looking for effort and execution. Even though the scoreboard is going against you, you want to find out who's going to fight, who's going to scrap, who's going to keep their heads up and continue to play.
Looking for the out route, and he's got it. It's complete to McCaffrey. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. The Niners passing game in sync now. They've got another first down.
Well, I can put my defensive cap on right now, and I know they're saying don't give up any big plays now. They've controlled this game throughout, and all they want to do is see it through to the end. I think they let their guard down a little bit with that last completion. Sometimes when you're trying not to give up bigger plays, you don't react as fast as you should on other throws.
And a short gain there down to the 37-yard line. There to make the tackle, Khalil Mack.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground, but I think the play gets made by the defensive front because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
And he's brought to the ground with another first down at the Chargers' 25-yard line. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains. A 3-score game here late. You can probably rule out the comeback, but certainly some kind of a moral victory to be had if they can get a few more points to close things out. And to that end, a nice pass play there to push things downfield.
Yeah, and we know in this league, a loss is a loss, and no one wants anything to count as a moral victory or, boy, something that feels a little bit cheap. But if they trim that lead down to just 2 scores, that's still a benefit to this squad.
He's been a one-man wrecking crew these last couple of plays. This time 18 more and a first down. Back to throw. Purdy. And this will be incomplete. physical play on the football there, and it's second down. At this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense are just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
Yeah, this is actually the easy part of the game for them because, just as you noted, they can sit back, keep everything in front of them. But they've blanketed the field the entire game using a variety of coverages.
Second down and goal. Purdy. And it's caught. 5 yards that time on the completion, and now it's third and goal.
I think as he began this throw, you saw that the area was congested, but he has a lot of confidence in his arm, and he fits that one in there nicely. They pick up the catch, not much yardage afterwards.
Now this likely a must-have, third and goal. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. Under pressure, down he goes. Sacked at the 10. And that sack brings up fourth and goal, a loss of 7. Big play.
Guys with his talent in the pocket aren't supposed to be getting hit like this, and you know an intense conversation with the offensive line is going to occur after this one. Might not be from him, but the offensive line coach will have plenty to say about this game.
A field goal does you no good, so they're going to stay out there and go for it on fourth. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. And he hauls it in the end zone. Touchdown, San Francisco. Ricky Pearsall, a 9-yard touchdown grab. And the Niners' decision to go for it pays off with 6 points. All right, so this one not quite over yet. Back to a 2-score game, CD.
Yeah, and you've still got 4+ minutes to go, so when you think about comebacks, it's happened before. Now, it hasn't happened often, but you've got to think to yourself, let's be the next great comeback story and play this one out.
Piñeiro's extra point up and good. And the lead is trimmed down to 10. Now after the touchdown, here's Piñeiro to kick it off. Gets past one man. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. He's been a good workhorse. I know we use the word workhorse a lot, but he's been a good workhorse for him in this one.
No doubt about it, and there's nothing wrong with that. That's what you're looking for if you're a back, because that means everything's come together for you. The big guys up front have created space. You've run through it. And you've probably gotten some help even from the wide receivers who want to catch passes as opposed to block, but they're helping out too.
Yeah, everyone's pitching in. He's had a good game. Now Herbert with it, looking to pass. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. Give him 13 yards on the opening play of the drive and also give him a first down.
When you have someone throwing it that well, that confidently, you don't have to call the game in fear at all, do you? You just go ahead and play.
Yep, confidence with a lead to throw it here in the fourth, and boom, he's on the money.
Yeah, you don't have to tuck your head in and go like turtle at this point. You can just go ahead and play.
Room to maneuver at the 35. He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20. 39 yards the distance covered on the catch and run.
And this is seemingly how it's been all game long. This defense has been just a step too slow. And here they're burned again. Another big play.
So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. And he's going to get this one down inside the 15. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. Able to stay in bounds, so the clock keeps rolling. This defense right now backed up in the red zone. Another touchdown, it's over. They've got to stand tall quickly.
Been in this spot before. Now there's a little bit of desperation creeping in, and all you're doing when you're talking to your defensive teammates is first guy there, hold him up. Second, third guy in, rake at the football. Get it out. We've got to create a turnover because one more score, and this game's over.
The 49ers now going to use the first of their timeouts. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. A good chance now to put this game on ice. This is 1st and goal. Harris. He is going nowhere in a hurry as he is going to lose yardage here in a big way. Now San Francisco going to call their 2nd timeout. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. It's 2nd and goal, back to the 8-yard line now. They'll try the air now with Herbert. And this will be caught in the end zone for a Chargers touchdown. Rondé Gadsden, a beast in the red zone with his 2nd touchdown of the game. And the Chargers are an extra point away from making this a 3-score game. Boy, he has been fun to watch throwing the football in this one. It's certainly not fun for that defense, though, Charles. Now up to 4 touchdown passes in this ball game.
Yeah, we're supposed to be neutral, but I'm feeling their pain right now because he has absolutely carved up this secondary. A clinic on how to attack a defense and take them out of the game.
Extra point up and good by Dicker. And that'll make this a 3-score game now. The lead moves to 17. Here's Dicker now as he'll send this one away. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. The Niners offense and Brock Purdy getting ready for this next possession. And he has been masterful so far in leading this offense. He's kept the mistakes to a minimum. He's been on point with his passes, and he's generally been one step ahead of this defense all game long. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. Well, this game, it has had no shortage of offense. They've been able to put up a decent amount of points on this side, Charles. They just have not been able to keep pace with the other offense they're going against here.
Yeah, it's a good way of pointing things out because now it's not a total loss because, as you said, they've scored some points, so there's some plays they can build on, moments where the game plan actually worked. But overall, though, they were just out-personnelled. They were going up against a team that's playing at an elite level.
2nd and 6. Shotgun now with Purdy. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he will get enough for a 1st down, and that will lead us to the 2-minute warning. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Out of the gun, Purdy. That one complete to his receiver, Jennings. And that's good for a gain of 6. And it's 2nd down. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give him that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
From the 44 now, here's 2nd and 4. They go play action here. Purdy. That's to the right sideline, and it falls incomplete.
This has been a rough one, to put it mildly, for him. And after this one's done, you just feel like at the post-game press conference, this team's going to have a lot of questions and definitely not a lot of answers.
Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down. Again, it's Purdy to throw it. He's going to get that to his running back out of the backfield. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. That one goes for 8 yards. Clock management definitely critical here if they want to get back in this game.
Absolutely agreed. They have to up the tempo in this case, down a couple of scores. Want to make sure they have a chance to win this ball game.
Purdy. And he's got his favorite target yet again. It's complete. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And it'll bring up a 2nd and short. Purdy will set up to throw it here. Finding Bourne here over the middle. And he's brought to the ground with another first down at the Chargers' 26. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs. Here's Purdy. And just not enough on the throw there. Down around his feet and incomplete.
Well, a momentary speed bump there with that throw, partner. The defense had other ideas, and they're trying to mount a small stand before this drive reaches the end zone.
Now a 2nd and 10. Purdy sets up to throw again. It's caught on the right side by Robinson. And he's brought to the ground with another first down at the Chargers' 15-yard line. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks. Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10. Purdy from the gun. Got the connection here to Bourne. And now the Niners going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout, as the clock will stop with an even 20 seconds left to go.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
And he's got his big wide receiver complete. And he's able to get this down to the 5-yard line before he's out of bounds.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go, because he might wander into some tough coverage.
They'll look to throw again. Nothing open downfield, so he'll throw it away.
Great coverage down in the end zone. He's scanning the field, looking. No one ever came open. So in the end, he makes the best decision and just fires it over the end line.
A line of scrimmage, once again the 5 as they get ready for 2nd and goal. Purdy will look to throw again here. Touchdown! Ricky Pearsall with now 2 fourth-quarter touchdowns. And the 49ers get a bit closer.
I'm not sure win-win is the proper term here, but it certainly felt like it. They got the touchdown they needed, but if I'm on the defensive side of the ball, okay, you got the touchdown, but it sure took you a long time.
Yeah, because offensively there, you're probably hoping for a 1 to 5 play drive. That one ate up a little more time than they were hoping.
You're exactly right, and if you have that 1 to 5 play drive, you actually build up momentum and even more hope. When they had to slog their way downfield, they got the touchdown, but it's almost like, yeah, you know,
doesn't feel right.
Exactly.
Piñeiro's extra point up and good. And the lead is trimmed down to 10. So time definitely not in their favor. Down 2 scores, but they'll try the onside kick. They knew they